G'day, I'm McGlashan and welcome to Club Marine TV. Now, if there's one technique that is really coming into its own and as exciting as they come, it's stick baiting. It's really evolved into a technique that is working for a wide range of species, from GTs and tuna right down to species like snapper and tailor. But it's a technique that requires a bit of finesse to get the bite. Well, how do we use a stick bait? The first thing we need to understand is there's two types of stick baits. You got floating and you got sinking. So with floating, the trick is to sweep the rod. So you're not actually winding the line, you're winding slack line up. So you sweep the rod up, and what that'll do is get the lure to swim and stop and then poke up. And when it pokes up like that, that's when tuna and kingfish all go mad on it. Sinking stick baits, on the other hand, require a different retrieve. Sweep the rod, but wind up quickly. So it goes long, it stops. And when it stops, it will generally start sinking slowly. Of course, there are other techniques like you can use, which is walking the dog, which is where you work the rod both sides and the lure will do that, which imitates like a wounded mullet. It varies on the species you're chasing, but on different days, different techniques work. So it's important to be able to do both. When it comes to your outfit, you need specialised rods. To get those baits swimming, those stick baits swimming properly, you need a longer rod. It's got to have a softer tip to help work that lure. So you can't just go and use any old rod. You need obviously a longer one. Like these things are sort of 7 and 8 foot long in some cases, which gives you a greater cast. And of course, when you get big fish on, you want the top section of the rod to load over so that the main working area is down this bottom end. Of course, with reels, bigger line capacity when you're catching big tuna, so you do need to spend a bit on getting the right tackle to start stick baiting properly. So where do you go stick baiting? It's where the fish are, and where the fish are is where the bait is. So if you've got a patch of bait breezing on the surface, where you find that bait, get a stick bait in there, because that's almost sure to have yellowfin or mahi behind it. Alternately, if you're fishing over heavier areas like reef areas, so for kingfish, you want to fish a ledge, you want to fish the rocky headland, you want to fish in the washes is another good spot. So where there's bait is priority, but also focus on structure. Even in Sydney Harbour and places like that, around some of the markers is a great place to work a stick bait. Now, if there's one tip I can offer with stick baiting techniques, it is slow down. So when you do your sweep and you let that lure sit on the top for that second, make it 2 seconds, make it 3, because that's when you get the bite, that pause. As soon as it sits there, that's when they smash it. So always slow it down. And if you think you're going slow enough, slow it down even more. Now, if there's one tip I can offer, and this is a really important safety tip, it's press down those barbs on the hooks. You're dealing with big hooks because you're using big lures in a lot of cases. You've got big fish attached to them. It can be a disaster at times, and pressing down those barbs can be vital, especially in remote areas, because the last thing you want is a big hook in the hand. If you press down those barbs, it's better for you and it's better for the fish when you let them go.